Hi everybody, this is Amy from the Hamilton Lane Library. I am coming to you again here in February for my Soups On Winter Soup series. Today we are going to be making something, this is a dish that I love so much, and you can make it in soup form, kind of like I was talking about last month, where you can sort of make everything into a soup if you try hard enough. You can soup it. This is going to be creamy chicken marsala soup. How delicious does that sound? Mushrooms, chicken, vegetables, pasta, cream, marsala wine, of course. So this is going to be a good one. I'm going to show you a couple of things, a couple of little tips on prep here. And then we'll go over to the stove to put the soup together. Like the last month, this is not a soup that has to sit all day. It doesn't need to be babysat. I mean, you pretty much do it in a couple of steps and you are done in about a half hour or less, including prep. Really, it comes together pretty quickly like last month. I did already dice my onion, so I've got one diced onion here. This recipe also calls for one diced carrot. Calls for a diced peeled carrot. Hot tip, I never peel my carrots, ever. I don't see the point. The skin is fine, it is good for you. If your carrot is clean, I say leave it on, skip the step. That's just me. Do how you want to do. That's just what I do. So to dice this carrot, first I cut it in half long ways here. And then I'm going to cut each of these halves in another half. I want these carrot pieces to be roughly the same size as the onion pieces, just because they will, well, the uniform look is nice, you know, that all the little vegetable pieces are the same size. They cook at a more even temperature, and the mouthfeel is just nicer. You don't have like a big chunk of this and a little tiny piece of this. So that's why we like to do our vegetables pretty much the same size when doing any kind of soup or saute or anything like that. So, you know, you just run your knife through this carrot here, being careful. You don't have to go fast if knives intimidate you. You know, go at your own pace. But we've got our one large carrot now, diced up with our onion. Of course, this wouldn't be chicken marsala without a chicken. I got a rotisserie chicken. Look, his wings just came right off. I got a rotisserie chicken because they were already cooked, they're already seasoned, they're so easy to break down. You know, basically you need 2 cups of chicken for this recipe. So you get that chicken however you want to, but I like to do it this way. I think it's so much easier. You can get, you know, a bit of light and dark meat. What I did here is just took the skin off the top because I don't want that. I just want the meat. I just make a slice here and I'm just gonna pull that breast meat out over there, and then I'm just gonna kind of like chunk it up, right? This is kind of, you know, mush it around. Gonna do that with both sides of the breasts. Then I'm gonna meet you over at the pot. See you in a minute. Okay guys, so we're over at the pot now. I already sauteed 1 full pound, 16 ounces of baby bella mushrooms and also a gourmet blend. These are just Kroger mushrooms that are already sliced. I did this in 2 tablespoons of butter, took them out of the pot. I added 2 more tablespoons of butter in here, and now we're gonna do our celery and onion that we cut over at the table. We're gonna do that in the butter here. We are gonna let this get a little soft. Might take about 5-6 minutes, so I'm just gonna keep standing here, stirring a little bit and let this go. When we come back, we're gonna start building our soup. Shouldn't take too long after that. Thanks, guys. Hi guys, while our carrot and onion are sauteing in the butter over there, I did come back to the chicken here. I'm breaking it down. I'm doing, I did both breasts. I'm doing the leg meat, a little bit of the thighs that I can get. I'm not going to do anything with the wings. It's not enough meat to, worry about breaking down. But what I did want to remind you guys is how in my last video I said that you should keep your vegetable scraps after you have cut up things for soups or stews or sautés or whatever. Keep that top of the pepper, keep that mushroom stem, keep the onion skins, keep the garlic paper that holds the garlic cloves. And you can make stock out of those things. You just put them all in a freezer bag, stick it all in the freezer together, add to it as you have things to add to it. When the bag's full, you can make a really beautiful, fragrant, delicious homemade stock. Same thing goes, of course, with your chicken. If you want to make a chicken stock, don't throw away the wings or this skin or any of these bones here. Keep all of it. Throw all of this into a big bag, toss it in your freezer, and when you have a couple chickens worth, you can make delicious homemade stock that is going to be so much more rich and flavorful than anything you buy in the store. Just wanted to remind you guys that that is a smart way to control what's in your stock. It's just the chicken, it's just the vegetables, that you've already used what you needed to out of them, and the flavors that come out of this stuff. It's really, really wonderful. If you do use a whole chicken to make chicken stock, like you could just buy a chicken and break it down and make chicken stock out of it. The thing with that is you're not going to want to eat that meat after you've made your stock. Basically, the water has pulled everything delicious out of that chicken. So, I guess if you have like a pup or something, a dog that might want a little bit of chicken, it won't taste as chickeny, but if your dog likes chicken, they would, still like that. But it's not going to be, you're not going to want to like eat that chicken or make chicken salad or, roast your chicken after you've boiled this chicken or simmered this chicken for like 8 hours. So keep that in mind. That's why I use kind of the bones and the bits and pieces. There's a ton of flavor in there and I don't have to waste too much meat at the same time. I think our onions and carrots are about ready, so I'm gonna head back over there, but I wanted to give you guys that quick tip. Thank you. Hey guys, we are back over at the stove here. As you can see, we've got some nice color on our carrots and onion here. This is beautiful. This is just how they should be, getting a little soft, some little brown bits. Brown bits are flavor. It's called fond, is what those brown bits are called in the technical terms, and it just, it's little bits of just caramelized deliciousness. I'm going to add some garlic in here now. This recipe calls for 2 cloves, so I'm going to do just my little cheat here. That equals to 2 cloves. You always want to put your garlic in towards the end. Don't put like onions and garlic in a pan together at the same time. Garlic burns very easily and it turns very bitter when it does. There is no way to remove that bitter taste once it has happened. So, this garlic's only going to need about a minute until we start adding some other things in here. The next thing I'm going to do is add 3 tablespoons of flour to this mixture. This is going to thicken things up. You just stir. We just want to cook that flour taste out, which we will over this heat. You just scrape everything at the bottom here. Make sure there's no floury bits. The flour starts to turn, more of an opaque yellow. It sort of becomes one with the vegetables. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see any big white spots. At this point, I'm going to add about half of my Marsala wine. So this recipe calls for 2/3 of a cup. This is Marsala cooking wine. You can buy it just at the grocery store. You don't need to be 21 to buy it or anything like that. It's just for cooking. It's not for drinking. 2/3 of a cup. I'm going to go in with half of this. That is a lovely sound. Okay, so we've got that going. Giving this a nice stir. We just want to kind of scrape up anything that's down there. Now look how this is like, it's made like a paste, right? This is great because this is going to get everything thick. If we just have chicken stock in here without these other thickeners, you know, we basically made a roux down here. We're going to now be able to add our chicken stock, but we're still going to have a nice thick creamy soup. So now that half is in, I can add the other half. I can add my 8 cups of chicken broth that I have here. There we go. Once again, I did use better than bouillon, like I said. All of my other videos, it is my favorite. I think it's the best. But it is salty, so you do have to make sure to check your salt. We've got this going here. I am going to pop in a couple sprigs of thyme. Gonna grab my chicken, be right back. I'm gonna just grab what I've got over here with my hands. Put that nice chicken in there that we took right off of that rotisserie bird. Okay. And we're gonna keep all of this going together just until we get to a simmer. Then we're gonna add some pasta. Then we'll add our mushrooms and our cream, and it's gonna be soup time. Be back in just a few minutes. Okay guys, we are back. We have our broth here for our creamy chicken marsala soup. We've got our tomato, our carrot, our garlic, our couple of sprigs of thyme going in here with the chicken broth, with the chicken. Now that we are about up to a simmer, we are going to reduce the heat to more of a medium, just down a little bit. And we are going to add 4 inches of pasta. Now, for this dish, I'm going to use medium shells here. I don't like the little tiny salad shells. I think they're too little. Honestly, anything goes with this. 4 ounces of whatever pasta you want. If you have broken up spaghetti, if you have leftover elbow noodles, it doesn't matter. I mean, maybe not something big like a rigatoni unless you want to sort of break it up, but I'm just going to add this pasta in here, give it a stir. We are going to let this go for about 8 minutes until that pasta is al dente. Then we are going to finish with our cooked mushrooms and cream. We're going to taste for salt and pepper. Actually, I'm going to put a little salt or a little pepper in here right now because I know I'm going to want some. I am a big black pepper person, so let's just go ahead and preemptively do that. I did taste the broth a couple of minutes ago, and I think the salt is perfect. So I'll test it again once everything goes in. Might need more, but we will check. But we're going to give this about 8 minutes, let this pasta cook, and we will be back. Okay guys, we are back. Our shell pasta is al dente. I pulled one out and tasted it. It has got still a little bit of a bite to it, but it is cooked through. So we are ready to finish our soup. We are going to slide those cooked mushrooms back in here. This smells like chicken. I mean, it should smell like chicken marsala. That's what it's supposed to be, right? Stir that in, and then the final piece, a cup of cream. I'm going to do this slow because this is hot. I don't want it to curdle. So you just stream it in kind of slow. Give it a chance to temper a little bit. I believe I've talked about tempering in some of my other videos, where if you've got something cold and you're adding it to something hot, you got to take it slow or mix a little bit of the hot with the cold to kind of give it a chance to not, go into shock, basically. So, stirring this to combine. We've got our chicken, our mushrooms, our cream, our broth. I am going to check this for salt and pepper. I'm going to bowl it up, and then I'm going to meet you back over at the island and I will show you the finished product. Okay guys, so we have our chicken marsala, creamy chicken marsala soup bowled up here. Smells incredible. Pasta, mushroom, carrot, onion, chicken, marsala wine, chicken stock, thyme. The only thing we have to do now is top this, and the most delicious way to top this is going to be with some fresh Parmesan cheese. Get a little going there on our grater. So what is a chicken marsala without some parm? Also, a little squeeze of lemon. When you cut the sides of the lemon like this, which is how I like to do it, it's called the cheek of the lemon. You squeeze on here. That's going to brighten things up a little bit. Serve it just like this. There you go, guys. Creamy chicken marsala soup. Thanks.